All holidays are festive and joyous, but Thanksgiving has its own special quality. It's a day truly dedicated to Thanksgiving, and it focuses around that delicious Thanksgiving meal, which always is focused on the turkey. You know, one of the theories why a turkey is used on Thanksgiving is because in Hebrew, the word for turkey is hodu, and hodu is also the word for Thanksgiving. It's possible the pilgrims chose the turkey because of that, but be it as it may, as great as the Thanksgiving meal and Thanksgiving celebration is, the day after is not always so great. The table is cleared. Everyone's gone back to where they are with their cell phones. And all that's left is leftover turkey, which I'm sure many of you are going to have on your Shabbos table. Some years ago, a rabbi pointed out that leftover turkey itself tells the whole story. It's a day after the holiday when all of the golden brown bird, surrounded by the cranberry sauce and the other good things, all that's left is a few scraps of meat. The menu the day after is likely to be cold sliced turkey or turkey salad or even turkey hash. Thanksgiving and the day after, the golden bird and the leftover turkey. Now, the real test of a good cook is not what you serve on Thanksgiving, but rather how you handle it. The leftover turkey. It's no trick to please a family with fresh turkey and then just throw away the leftovers. All that takes is money. But to take the leftovers and to turning them into something appetizing and tasty, that's a challenge. And a rabbi of old pointed out, that's what life is all about. Everyone has their Thanksgiving days, their birthdays, their gift giving days. But it doesn't always last. So the test of life is what the day after, how we conduct ourselves, how we pick up the leftover pieces and live out our lives. That's not only true of individuals, that's true of nations as well. We, the Jewish people, are the leftover turkeys of history. We don't call ourselves leftovers. In Hebrew, we call it she'erit, the remnant. But if you've ever sold yard goods, this too is no compliment. The remnant is the scrap that's left when all the usable yardage has been cut and sold. We have shown the world that no matter where we were persecuted, there was always a remnant, always a leftover to carry the word, to live and to teach the Jewish way. Rome, Greece, Ottoman Empire, Islamic Caliphate, gone. We were left over. Let me show you what I mean. At the time of the temple, it's estimated that there were 8 million Jews. Now, that's nearly 2,000 years ago. You know how many Jews there should be now? Well, now there are only 15 million in the whole world. We're only 0.2 of the population, 0.2 of the population. What happened to all the descendants of those 8 million in temple times? Well, in 135, it started with the Bar Kokhba revolution. They killed 500,000 Jews. And it's been going on ever since. The Crusades, we lost a lot more of our people. By the 13th century, it's estimated we were only 2 million people. But the remnant kept coming back. And the killers kept coming back. Khmelnytsky in the 1600s killed 300,000 Jews. In the 1900s, in Russia and Ukraine, there were pogroms that killed 100,000 Jews, but the leftovers kept coming back and kept coming back. And by 1939, it's estimated there were 17 million Jews in this world. There aren't that many now. What happened? You know what happened. They killed 6 million of us. All that was left of us were the leftovers. And you know what the leftovers went and did? They went and built the state of Israel. They were all leftover people, remnants of illiterates from North Africa who had never seen a light bulb, remnants of Jews from destroyed Arab Jewish communities with poverty and disease their only commodities, remnants of the oppression of the dictatorship of communism in Russia, remnants of Hitler's concentration camps, children who had never known their mothers and had seen their fathers burnt. These leftover people took a leftover land and there they built. You know what they built? Somebody recently described it as follows. The state of Israel is greater than any Jewish kingdom in the past. They may have had the temple, but we have the National Insurance Institute, the greatest social welfare program the Jewish people ever had. They may have brought animal sacrifices to God, but we sacrifice half our salaries to high taxes to fund the sick and the needy. They may have had a king, but we have a real democracy. They may have had people studying Torah, but their numbers were paltry and cannot compare to the numbers of Jews we have sitting and learning Torah today, and all of it funded by our tax dollars. All this from leftovers. That's why I don't despair even in these dangerous times. No one knows what tomorrow may bring, but I have no fear, for I know that whatever happens, our leftover people will always survive. If the Romans couldn't do it, and the Crusaders couldn't do it, and Khmelnytsky couldn't do it, and Hitler couldn't do it, Hamas will never do it. So let's remember, life is not all leftovers. To have leftover turkey yesterday, you had to have turkey the day before. So life has its ups and downs. Let's enjoy this Thanksgiving weekend. And when we have to make do with leftovers, let us remember that a new Thanksgiving will come next year and the year after. You know why? Because Am Yisrael Chai. Shabbat Shalom.